Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ ATS Podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show Podcast.
Well, hello, welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. Yeah, what are you going on, everybody?
Kevin!
Yeah, here we are. Hello, hello, hello.
Virginia?
Jaybird?
Mm-hmm. We're all here.
Yep, roll call.
Yep. Got some good emails here today. One with a nice piece of advice for you, Virginia. I know we flipped the coin earlier today, and you're heading to the Keys. Have you gotten any kind of response from your husband? Because that is against what he was hoping for.
I don't think he's listening to the show.
Anymore?
Ever.
Anymore.
He had to be at work early because he's doing one of those video depositions, which he is not happy about. But he
Sounds awful.
He has to be he's in court, but he's like on computer court.
Oh, it's terrible.
So he has to just sit there, like dressed nice, and just wait to be called on.
At the house?
No, he's at work. He's back at work. He was at the house for a while, and now he is back at work, I think as of June 3rd.
Was he dreading it all night last night?
Yes. He brought it up several times. He's like, I hate depositions. Because it is kind of being put on the hot seat, and they ask you all kind of questions,
Right.
and you feel like you're getting grilled for something you did. Meanwhile, it has nothing to do with him. It's something that he videotaped, and now that videotape and the credibility of it is being called into question in a very big lawsuit.
That's so funny. Somebody that was doing my taxes a while ago was in some kind of lawsuit, and I had to go in there. I wasn't in trouble. I just had to give them my account of what happened and blah, blah, blah. And I'm at the lawyer's office, and I felt like I was on the stand. I was kind of getting annoyed. I'm like, what the fuck's this guy? First of all, I thought I was on your side. Second of all, why are you going in on me? I don't like it.
It's very weird.
It was weird.
It has nothing to do with you, but yet you're being deposed because everybody is there. If you do it in person, which I have, everybody who's suing each other is there in the room, and they're both looking at you like, yeah, and so whatever you say can either hurt or help them, and a lot of times you're just trying to say what really happened, and you don't know how it pertains necessarily to every detail of the case they're fighting over.
They were asking me questions from 5 years before,
and you're like, shit, I don't know.
And I'm giving them answers, and the whole time thinking, okay, did I just perjure myself in a lawyer's office? How does this work? Kevin?
Kevin's not there.
Kevin's my lawyer. His dad's a lawyer, so that makes Kevin our best.
That's tough if that's what you got.
Yeah, that's his day. So he's not listening and probably doesn't know that we're definitely going. And he's going to want to know what's going on with Rocco, and I don't have those answers.
Rocco will want to go, right?
I don't know. Rocco loves Daddy. So here's the issue. Anytime you tell Rocco he's going to be away from Daddy for any extended period of time, like he can handle a day. I don't know if Rocco is ready for a long period of time. Rocco's a wild card.
Would Rocco enjoy the road trip, or does he get antsy on the road trip?
He would love the whole trip. I think the only thing that'll make Rocco sad is that Daddy's not going. But I think if we keep him busy, I think Rocco will be fine.
Deep down, and doesn't mean you're a bad mom when I ask you this, do you kind of want Rocco to stay home so you can kind of enjoy? If you're going to go, you might as well go and kind of enjoy a little bit.
I'm torn. And Mags is coming at me from the place of, let's leave Rocco. Let's not take Rocco.
Okay.
Thanks, Max.
He's more
Solidarity, shit.
I'm coming more for the place of I just want everybody to have a good time. I mean, this is not necessarily a trip that I'm like, yay, super pumped about.
You should
because
turn it into that, though.
I'm scared. I'm just scared. And then I'm talking to my friends and they say the keys are packed and I'm
wow.
I'm scared.
You'll be all right.
I know.
Well,
But
you're going to Isla Mirada. Isla Mirada is a chill place. You're going to be able to, if you want to be by yourself in Isla Mirada.
Marauder's the place I ate the rocks.
No.
Where's that place?
That was right by 7 Mile Bridge. That was Sunset Grill.
That's right. So I
It's
always
just north
forget
of
that.
7 Mile Bridge.
Lock it in. Sunset Grill, 7 Mile Bridge.
Yeah.
Eagles song.
Yeah, there you go. Down at the Sunset Grill.
is that the place they're singing about?
So there's
No.
two different. There's the 7 bridges that the Eagles sing. And
7 Bridges Road, but this is 7 Mile Bridge.
Yeah, but it's kind of a lot, sort of like a lot of Eagles.
You're making this more confusing than it has to be.
But it is sort of like Eagles a little bit, kind of. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin.
Am I in the spin cycle?
So Karen said, here's an idea that might keep Panda happy. You could send Mags alone with your nurse sister, and then when she returns, she stays with her father for 2 weeks. And that way you get the quarantine thing. Mags is happy about that. You stay with Panda and Rocco, and...
No, I can't do that either because my sister is down there with none of her kids.
Sister.
I'm not sticking her with my kid and saying now
Just
you
Magnolia?
get to babysit.
Magnolia's not trouble, right? I mean,
No.
she's 14, almost
She's 15.
15
She's
now,
15.
right? Yeah, 15 now.
She can
so
actually
she's 15.
she can designate drive.
Right.
For what? If you have alcohol?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that rule? I
don't
thought
know.
the adult has to be in sober mind when a child is underage. You can't be
maybe
all
you're
hammered
right.
with a. I don't think
Yeah.
you can.
Maybe you're right.
Nice try.
Not say I haven't done it, but yeah, legally.
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 I think Max is ready to be the drunk bus for you.
Oh, she offered because that was one of her quote unquote selling points of why we should go. Mom, I know you and your sister like to get your drink on. I'll drive you anywhere in the Keys.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Max going for it.
She loved it. Yeah, that right in that area, it's that's not too bad. But you remember, you got that highway. It's just US 1 right there, and you're pulling out at a slow stop from some of those places. Now it is wide open, and you can see through that stretch. But I
But
do
if
remember
it's busy, I'm hearing
Yeah.
it's very busy on the
trying
weekend.
to drive there and trying to pull out. Yeah, I do remember having a little bit of anxiety. To be like, okay, I don't know if I'd want a first timer.
Yeah.
No.
Especially when you got that one asshole who's going like 90 or trying to.
That might be too big for Mags.
It might be.
Key West.
I'm going to walk.
You walk.
I don't want to leave the hotel room. Is that bad?
No, sometimes going on a vacation and doing the hotel vacation, you get some food, make a little love. You can't do that because Panda's not going to be there. But I'm saying if you did.
Yeah, I'll go on this trip and just stay in the room and masturbate. I'm sure they're so
Good
excited,
times, yeah.
I think people do those kind of
I'm
vacations.
going to be in here,
rubbing the clam.
Yeah.
I don't know, going up to Vermont and just for a couple days and just jerking it. It kind of seems peaceful.
You could jerk it right here.
I know, but not. It's,
Well, not here.
It's a
but
different area, a
in
different
South
atmosphere.
Florida.
You want to jerk it and look at the ocean.
I want to jerk at the woods.
So this is something you're going to live up to, the coin flip, and you're going, Virginia?
I told you I would.
Okay.
I said if we're going to do the coin flip, I'm going to do whatever it says. And
Okay.
If you don't do it, the coin flip bit's dead.
I should be.
Along with sudden death.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Another bit. Virginia's killed.
Bit killer.
Bit killer. You are the actual bit killer.
I am. You're right.
Nikki sent an email, said, hey, I was just listening to the show on Monday. You're all talking about quarantine weight and diets. Do you think all the strippers gained weight through quarantine?
Good question.
When they open the strip club, do you think that they're all going to be plus size now? And also, how do you think that they're making money during this? Do strippers get stimulus checks?
I think a lot of women have gone to the cam service,
Yes.
making money that way.
I think that's smarter. I mean, if you're making money on the cam, why would you go back in the club?
I mean, if you do it right, you could probably make a lot of money. Now, some of the cam people, you pay for what you want. So if you're the cam girl, and I'm like, all right, Virginia, I want to see you take off that 90-year-old woman sweater. Let's see what's behind that thing. $20.
Oh, look, it's 90-year-old tits. No, my tits are only they're only like 3. Right?
All right, that's even weirder.
I got new ones.
Yeah, just what I want to see. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for ruining tits for me.
Yeah. So that is her question. Yeah, I think they did find other things. And to let you know on massages, Sarah sent this in, said, yeah, we were watching your podcast yesterday. We heard somebody had their massage canceled due to Palm Beach County not being part of Phase 2. We just want to let you know that all know that massage establishments with valid licenses and licensed massage therapists most certainly are allowed to be open in Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade. Send that listener our way.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
How is it that we're getting such bad information?
We're
so directly
that was
contradicting.
an email. Well, and it could have been that for whatever reason that, and that was from PJ National, that they had canceled, and that was their email and their response.
Maybe the resort's not open? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, that is Sarah, and it's with Massage Envy from the Miami region, but I think that covers those 3 counties. Go and get your rub on.
Yeah, skin hunger.
Mm-hmm. Talking about the stripper email Nikki just had, Melissa had sent in, said, hey, did you see the recent picture of Matthew Perry? He let himself go big time. I thought Friends Reunion was almost on deck. Wow, almost unrecognizable. I had to see if you guys had seen that.
Really?
Thanks. Yeah, the photo I saw yesterday, somebody had, and it's it's a tough thing to say. And I know he's had his struggles as we all have. But
is he overweight?
Yeah.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
We're all gained some weight.
Yeah. So
I love when people say, "Oh, he's gained some weight," like you don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on the day-to-day with Matthew Perry and what's happening with him, but he is what he is.
Well, I know if I gain weight, other people probably gain weight too, so I'm assuming it's probably corona weight.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him really in a project for a while. I'm trying to think his last project. Didn't he have like a CBS show, something along those lines? So maybe a couple years back.
And look, if you're depressed, it's easy to put weight on. I'm not saying that's an excuse to put it on, but
yeah,
people put. I mean, I know when I'm depressed, I put weight on. I got to get myself out of that mind frame.
Yeah. So I do know that was going to be coming up. Yeah, the reunion they were going to do was pushed off because of the pandemic, or
is it because of Matthew Perry?
Well, they said it was pushed off because of the pandemic because they couldn't get everybody together. But now, as they are starting to open up, where there is some productions that are going to start happening, and they've got the regular new guidelines now and trying to get productions going. So I would imagine that conversation is going to be rebooted. I thought they had bumped it to sometime in the fall that they're talking about doing, maybe in October or something like that. I can't remember the exact date, but they've talked about it. So yeah, I mean, is Matthew Perry just going to be like, hey, this is the way I look, man, so if you don't like it, suck it?
He's got time to get it together, too.
Or if he wants to,
Yeah, and I know he struggled in the past, too, with some substance abuse.
He did, yeah. I think he had, was it pills or something like that? I think he had gone to rehab for it.
Pills were his thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, it's out there, but it's tough. It's kind of like one of those things where you see it and so big. All right, I'm not going to pile on poor Matthew.
That's when you really don't like being a celebrity. When you are in a low moment and getting filmed, you're trying to go get like a sandwich or something. You don't think anyone's taking a picture of you, and then boom.
Yeah, that's there. You're like, oh, geez, thanks, guys. Yeah, trust me, I'm very well aware.
Well, remember you had all those stories about Richard Simmons? He just wanted to be out of the public eye.
Yeah.
And then all these stories came out about...
It's tough. I don't think some people are wired that way. When I was watching Be Water, which was the documentary that ESPN did, a 30 on 30 special on the life of Bruce Lee, it seemed like he really wanted to become a star. And then there was an interview they played in the documentary where after he was a star and started to get the recognition, where it seemed like it was kind of bothering him, where he just said, I feel like a monkey in a cage, and it was hard for him to go out. And I think he had a different kind of notoriety because he had first picked up his fame doing movies in Hong Kong, and it seemed like it was a rabid type of fame that he had there, where he just felt like a prisoner and really couldn't do much.
Well, when you're that famous, I'm not so poor celebrities. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, just on a normal human condition, there's no way that doesn't fuck with you. When you're that big, you're not a person anymore. You're a thing. You're an entity. People wouldn't look at Bruce Lee as a person. He's the guy in the movies.
Well, and you ever hear that? Be careful what you wish for. And I think there are a lot of people that have been on the other side of fame and like going, "Gosh, I would love to have that kind of money and that kind of notoriety and that kind of fame." And then I think some people do get it, and they are like, "Wow, okay, this isn't all I thought it was going to be."
It comes with exposure.
Yeah.
It does.
And the money looks cool, the cars, the house, the fun, but the exposure and then the critique, man.
Well, yeah, that's just it. I mean, that you got to be tough as nails, and even if you're tough as nails, anybody who reads stuff about them that's shitty, I don't care who you are, I don't care what they say, it's going to affect them a little bit. You're a fucking human being.
Mm-hmm. That's just the way it goes.
I think Dave Chappelle was kind of like that. I think I think everything freaked him out, and I mean, I get it. Then he lives out in a farm somewhere.
Yeah, he actually lives not far from where I grew up in southeastern Ohio, and I can tell you that is the middle of nowhere.
He said, "Forget Hollywood."
He did. I respect him for that.
Well, I think what happened was his fame started to go to such a level, and he's like, "I'm not comfortable with this level of fame." And he said, "Look, I want to have a life, and this is the level of fame." And he really, one of the first celebrities I've seen where he capped his fame. He's talented enough to be the most famous guy on planet Earth, I personally believe. But I think he said, I don't want to be that guy. I like doing the projects. I like doing the work. But I want to have a quiet life, and I don't want to be caught up in all that nonsense.
Yeah, he is my all-time favorite comedian.
He's fantastic. Yeah, he's very good. He's a brilliant man. And so it's kind of interesting.
The reason why I like him is because he's not only funny. I've seen him in interviews, and he gives such good, deep interviews because he admits
he's a thoughtful guy.
He is, and he also admits that he has flaws. I like people that admit they have flaws, just because sometimes you see these celebrities and they're just saying shit. Just to say shit, to get likes, or because they want to keep their job. He says what's in his heart and does not give a fuck.
It makes you think,
yes,
too, and you're like, wow, okay.
Whether you agree with him or not, you got to admit, to say what is in your heart in today's day and age and go, all right, crucify me. It's got balls, and I respect.
And impressively doing it for a long time. Some guys do it for a little while, and then they don't hit anymore. He took a break, came back, and hit just as hard.
Right.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's that talented. That's just it. And it seems like he seems to be in a good place.
If he was like your friend and he liked you, he would be so cool.
He's good
to
friend.
hang out with and like just listen to him just at a bar having cocktails.
You have those celebrities where you think that you would be good personal friends. Like Dave Chappelle is one of those guys that I think if we hung out, because I think we're both a little bit chill, I think we'd have a good time. I could hang out with Dave Chappelle.
He's really good friends with John Mayer. They're boys.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yep, they chill together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so jealous. That'd be so cool. Just to hang out with somebody like that and just have them just like...
Dave Chappelle will be on my list.
I felt like Adam Sandler is like that.
Yeah, I think Sandler would be cool.
And only reason why...
He's fun, not as deep as Dave.
Oh, I agree, but I'm just saying a celebrity that you could hang with and not feel that bad about. I always go back to that one story. My buddy Frank was in New Orleans, and Adam Sandler walked into a casino and had just a hockey jersey, was drinking a beer out of a can and sat down and was just being cool and talking to people.
Yeah.
Like a normal dude.
Dave Grohl's on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those three are in my top 5, without a doubt. Mike has got a problem here because somebody's not in his top 5, and he's going to have to take a long road trip. He said, I got to ride shotgun with my girlfriend's father for about 10 hours. I offered to help drive a car back that his wife had bought online. And she apparently had thrown out her back, wasn't able to go get it herself with him. I guess sitting in the car would agitate it, so he needed somebody to help pick it up. My girlfriend's father is the one driving up, and he doesn't have a working radio. And he also doesn't really like me that much.
Oh, boy. This is not good.
It's terrible.
He's still very close to my girlfriend's ex-fiance. He's also gone on record saying that he thinks I'm boring. This guy makes me really nervous to be around. I always put my foot in my mouth around him for some reason. What am I going to talk about with him for 10 hours? He loves football. I never watch it. We are both on different sides of the political aisle, so there goes that. I don't want to come off boring to him, so I ask you all, what are some topics that I can bring up with him so it looks like I'm not some boring dude? Okay. Yeah, I think sometimes I have had conversations that I know I wouldn't necessarily be in myself, but I will walk into it knowing what somebody enjoys, and I will let them, because people love to talk, and especially talk about themselves. And so to find out about him might be interesting. Find out some, maybe from your girlfriend, some stories, interesting stories that he has about his life, and maybe you can start to understand each other a little bit more. And look at this as a possible blessing rather than a curse.
What if and I think that's all great advice, but there are sometimes you just get a personality where you're trying to talk to somebody and you are getting nothing but 1 to 3 word answers, and you're trying to make something happen, and then it almost starts to become forced. Are you better in that situation just to shut the fuck up and not talk, if that's the case? If the guy doesn't really give you anything?
Yeah, I don't think you always got to fill space with words. And
Jay-Bird does.
Sometimes. Sometimes I do.
You do.
If nothing's coming to you, then don't go with it. But if you started off and did, like when we do an interview, we'll do prep on that person and we'll find out some things about them. And I usually try to lead them into a conversation that they want to have. I want to find out what their interests are and what's fascinating, because I notice once you get somebody on a subject that they like, then sometimes you can just let them go and you find out about them and just take an ego check yourself and say, look, I'm not doing this for me. This conversation is about them. And I've heard that that's one of the tricks to get somebody to actually like you, is to get them talking about themselves, and they, in their own mind, are like going, I'm having a really good time, and they think that they like you. But
they actually like themselves.
They really just like themselves, but you're there. So you get the credit of being likable, even though you're not talking at all.
Who taught you that?
It was something that I read, just studying, working people and things like that.
And you like to read?
And I like to read?
You like reading articles and stuff?
Oh, here we go.
He's talking about you.
Okay.
I'm glad you guys.
But he asked the question so fast, he caught me off guard.
Like what?
I felt like I was being what is this? This is some inquisition.
You started thinking about it. You're like, yeah, do I even know how to read?
I was just trying to do a joke. I'm glad it ended quick. I'm glad that did not go on for a while.
Yeah, so that would be my thoughts. First of all, too, you got to watch sometimes what you volunteer yourself for, because you can try to think, hey, this is going to be a great idea, and you put yourself in a really bad situation. But you're there now and probably not a way out of it. So do your homework on this guy and try to find some things. And you know what? If he says things about his side of the politics too, don't feel like you got to win this guy over. Just listen to what he has to say and be like, and you can just politely nod your head and then just continue on.
Yeah, and look at it too like this. He's an older guy, and respect your elder. Let him do talking about himself and just ride this thing out. You want to try to win him over.
Well, ultimately, you're doing this for your girl.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a nice gesture to do. Like almost kind of like you're punching a clock right now. Just go in there.
Your job is to try not to make him mad.
Yeah.
Make him like you. Is that possible? You certainly can try.
But it is rough, though, and the only reason why I brought up the one situation is that there are some people that really don't want to give you anything. And you're trying to talk and be fun or whatever, just having a conversation, and go fuck yourself. That's the attitude you get. And how long do you keep pushing until you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you rude if 3 hours into it he's not saying anything and you put your earbuds in?
Yes, I think.
Probably.
I don't know.
On this trip, as easy as it would be, this is probably the one where you don't want to do the earbuds because I'm
sit in silence.
Because then you're going to give him ammunition, and he's going to go back and tell everybody, "See, I told you he's a jerk. He put his earbuds in and didn't want to even speak to me."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This guy sounds like a dick.
Ugh, this sounds like an awful trip.
Well, ask yourself very quickly, how much do you like this girl?
No kidding.
Gotta be a lot of love there.
Because it's not 8 hours; it's 16 hours. You're committed to this thing.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to road trip with Jay Bird? You could talk about Bigfoot, aliens, Billy Joel.
Yeah, all that would work.
Everybody's got hot
Food.
buttons.
Food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can go for a while.
See, my problem would be someone would have to tell me to shut the fuck up. I would have too much to say.
Tell him, Kev.
I'd want to play games. Yeah, I'd have too much to do on that 8-hour road trip.
Well, we'll take the conversation in your direction here, Jay Bird. Astronomers have announced this weekend that they've detected a mysterious fast radio burst coming from a dwarf galaxy 3 billion light years away.
What?
FRBs are bursts of radio waves in space that last just a millisecond. Some have been traced back to their home galaxies, but astronomers have yet to figure out what causes them. The recently detected FRB sends out bursts during a 90-day window, followed by 67 days of silence in a loop that repeats every 157 days. This has been going on since 2012 for the last 8 years. For whatever reason, this signal comes from this spot in space in intervals of 157 days.
A message, perhaps.
Perhaps.
We've sent stuff out to space, too. We've sent a lot of stuff out there to try to get messages and try to see if there's anyone out there listening. And I wonder, are they responding to us?
Yeah, is this just them being like, hey, we're calling y'all back. We heard your message.
I personally think we've already been visited. That's just me. I already think that alien activity has been around at least at the start of the 20th century. That's just my opinion.
Okay. At least, huh?
And Elon Musk is their leader.
He does seem alien-like.
He does. There's just too many things, Virginia.
They say the presence of a repeating pattern may indicate that the bursts are linked to the orbit of a massive star, a neutron star, a black hole,
Or a mothership.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Who knows? And I thought this was an interesting story. Once was space, now a different part. NASA astronaut Catherine D. Sullivan was the first American woman to walk in space, and now she's also the first woman to reach the deepest point on Earth, which is located in the Western Pacific Ocean. She was just the 8th person to take the nearly 7-mile dive.
That's awesome.
You've been to the farthest reaches of space and the deepest depths of Earth.
That would just blow my mind, just thinking about that.
To say that, well, I mean, you talk about when you think back on your life, you're like, what have I done? And you're like going, gosh, you've been to the furthest reaches of space and the deepest depths of Earth. That's kind of cool, right?
I mean, all I went to Oregon a couple times.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty damn cool.
That is cool.
Got some food stuff for you, yes or no? Pringles and Wendy's have teamed up to make Baconator-flavored chips.
Okay, on paper it sounds good, but so did the Burger King ketchup chips. And those were
Gross.
They were the worst I've ever had, honestly. A list of the shittiest snacks, they're in the top 3 of all time.
Okay.
But I'm excited.
Intrigued, at least.
I'm intrigued. I'll try them.
Okay.
But sometimes these snacks that they look good on paper, Kev, depends on if they make them too chemically.
Oh, okay. You don't like too chemical.
I don't like that. There's if I'm
so
saying,
how is she going to make a chip taste like a Baconator in Virginia? I'd argue it's not even a real chip in the first place.
well,
Yeah, it's true.
some people do, like Pringles does a great job
It's processed.
of not tasting chemically.
Okay.
So
All right. Give them the
I
benefit of
have
the doubt.
faith.
Okay. How does this sound to you? You buying or selling this? Pineapple Pepsi.
Gross.
I don't know, man. I don't think I like it.
It apparently was so popular in Japan, they're going to bring it to the States.
Is it like Pineapple Crush? Or is it a cola?
I want to try. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Because Pineapple Crush you would drink.
Yeah, Crush. I'm a purple and I'm an orange Crush guy.
Have you ever had Watermelon Crush?
I have. It's really sweet.
Oh.
It's really, really sweet. It makes your butthole pucker. If that's the ride you're looking
Did
for,
you pour it
Mom.
into your butthole?
It's always about anus with this guy.
That's how he drinks his soda.
Anus is such a rough word, man. Anus.
Stop putting soda in your butt.
Pineapple flavored Pepsi. That's what it is. First released in Japan in 2019, had major success, and now it's coming to the U.S. and going to be available exclusively at Walmart, and it's going to be replacing the lime flavor, which was another Walmart exclusive.
Did not like the lime flavor.
So it's still a cola, but it's pineapple cola.
Yeah, it's gonna have it'll like you're tasting a cola with a little bit of pineapple in there. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be nasty. I don't think it's gonna be good, man.
Yeah, I can think of other fruit
Sounds like you're selling.
cherry cola goes well.
Yeah, but I mean, 1958 called. They want their soda back. Cherry cola. Where'd you find her at, Kevin?
Not buying it.
Sorry, I don't drink a lot of soda.
That's such a, I mean, it's been around forever. I like how you talk.
Well, what other fruit goes with it besides cherry? That's what I was trying to say. Like, there's not a lot.
You're right. I'll stop being a dick.
Dick cola. That's what he's been drinking.
Mm-hmm. And finally here today, Ryan from Lake Worth said, hey, I was wondering if you could provide us with an update on the desk that Denny's installed a few months ago. He seemed very excited when he brought it up on the podcast, and I would love to know more about his desk and what the finished product looks like.
Denny's!
I really need a new one for my monitors and paperwork, but I don't want a boring office desk in my home, and was hoping to get some design ideas from Denny's Configuration. If you could show a photo of the desk, that would be great.
Oh, you talking about the studio desk?
I think that's what they're talking about.
Sasquatch Recording Studio?
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, I love that desk. I'll send it. It's
Okay.
like an editing desk, a mixing desk. So it's got the raised upper level to put your monitor on so that it's up. And then you can
Okay.
slide your electric components underneath it.
All right.
My boy mixes it real good.
Yeah, well, Ryan from Lake Worth would like to take a gander.
Yeah,
All
can
right.
you photo it and send it
just
to Ryan?
Invite him over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corones,
Corones.
I'll put up a photo.
Corones, bro. Key West, bro.
There you go. All righty. Well, thank you for all the questions, emails.
Oh, it's over?
Yeah, it's all done, baby.
Baby,
That's
we were
it.
just warming up.
Yeah? All
Kevin's
right.
pulling the plug.
Well, you guys go ahead. Don't let me stop you.
4 more mins.
You go right ahead. You go as long as you want. I'm going to leave, but you go as long as you want. Mail at kvjshow.com. You guys enjoy your Wednesday. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.